How do I know I'm getting the right CRM? How do I know I'm getting the right system? What system will work for me? Bethany George, the follow-up boss. One question I get asked very, very often, since I talk about the power of the right tools for keeping track of your contacts, let's talk first about what a CRM is. CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management. There are many, many systems that call themselves a CRM or tell you it can be used as a CRM. Now, I'm a little bit of a snob when it comes to that because the tool should make your life easier, not harder. It should create mental clarity on what to do and when to do it. It should get the stuff out of your head and safely somewhere else so you don't have to think about it and you have more space for your business and the things that you love. It should also give you your time back. It should take less work to keep track of these people. And when we work together and create a system to know like when to do what kind of interactions we should be creating to cultivate that relationship with intentionality, then you have less mental fatigue from trying to decide, now what do I say? Now what do I send? Now what do I do? So we do all those things. A CRM, a good CRM, should have at least, bare minimum, 3 features. It should have integration with your email. The reason for this is email is one of the primary places that you will communicate with potential customers or fellow collaborators or business allies or people that you want to have connections with and you want to stay close with. It's not the only form of communication, but it is obviously the main form and it is the most trackable form. So you want those emails saved and you want them linked with that contact. Stop searching your inbox for that email from that client or from that fellow business person that was said that they were going to have you on their podcast. You should be able to click on the contact and see all of the emails that you've had with them saved and safe in one place. 2, you should have customized data fields. Not all CRMs let you do that. And the data fields should be searchable as well. So the data that you want to have about each person is going to vary. So you need to know that you can have data fields specifically for the things that you need to know. Example is, I always want to know what other people's social media platforms are, their profiles are. It's really important for me because I'll go and interact with them on their profiles. So if it's LinkedIn, if it's Instagram, if it's TikTok, if it's Facebook, I like to have those profiles. Sometimes I even have conversations in their messenger over there and I'll make note of that. So I need to pop over there and find that conversation. It should just be one click away from me. Another example of that, of important data fields, is I have it saved which networking groups they're in. I'm involved in a lot of different networking groups. There are a gazillion in the world. I want to know where they live. And this way also helps me when I'm connecting them with people. If I know they're already in the same group, they may already know that person. That's a data field. And then the genius of it is I can then search up that information. If I want to know everyone that is in a particular networking group, click, 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 I now have a full list. I just did this recently because I'm speaking at a local conference. I wanted to make sure I invited all of my local people, so I was able to look up all of the people in my state who are within driving distance of the conference. And the third one, that you have a way to track your action items. Oh my gosh, so important that you have a way to track your action items. Those are the things that will both build the relationship and prove you're trustworthy. So please have a place to save where you said you will do XYZ. Send that proposal, make that invite, make that introduction, follow up with that email. It's so important you follow through on what you say you're going to do. And then also, it's important that you have a way to remind yourself to continue nurturing that relationship. Statistics say that it's only like 3% of people are ready to purchase from anybody in the first interaction or 2 or 3. It's going to take a little bit of time before they're ready to work with you. And that means that just like seeds that you've put out into your garden, you can't just throw them out there and be like, I'm going to wait until fall and then suddenly I'll have a harvest. You need to stay in touch with them and let that seed flourish and nurture it and make sure it's ready when you are ready. having action items, having a thought out process, knowing when to touch base with them, how to continue the interaction, how to continue the conversation is really important. Those are the three things that are so important. Why can't you do those in some of the other alternative solutions? We talked about some notebooks. I know I started out using notebooks. It's a really easy way to take notes when you're talking with somebody and whatever. I never could find the information I needed later. It was nearly impossible. So you need a place that if you're going to take physical notes, which I also do, then you need a place to store those notes. Whether you type them up yourself or you have a way to digitally upload them. I'm a big fan of a digital notebook called Rocketbook. You actually take physical notes and then you can scan it and upload it. It's a very affordable option. It's versus say the Remarkable, where you actually can write on a screen and it digitizes your writing. That's a super option, great option if you have the money for that. Just take those physical notes, but make sure they're going somewhere. Make sure they're stored in a centralized location, all right? So notebooks are only good for taking those notes. They're not for storing that information. Spreadsheets are databases. They're meant to be databases. They're not meant for action items. They're not meant for easily storing information. You have to copy and paste, back and forth, move things around. Even advanced ones like Airtable still have major limitations. This is not their strength. This is not where you do that with. A human being is a dynamic person. You need to be able to see the dynamic, multifaceted person that they are. And you're not going to get that in something as simple as a spreadsheet. And then systems that are project management systems like Trella or ClickUp, those are only good when you only have a couple people you're working with. But when you're actively growing your business and meeting people, whether you're getting leads from a website and you're trying to interact with them, whether you're meeting people at networking spaces, again, if you are building and nurturing that relationship, there's just not enough space. There's not enough complexity in that system for the complexity that is that human being that you're interacting with. That system will fail you. It will create more frustration, more mental confusion than just getting the good CRM to begin with. I promise you. And I had a great example from someone just the other day who had been using a Trello for a while. She had deadlines on there, I need to do this and I need to do this by this time, which is great. It had a way to set action items. But what it doesn't do is it doesn't create a compiled list of her to-do list for the day. She doesn't have a priority of which ones are more important. So when she, gets behind, which life happens, personal events happen, business gets busy, we get behind, she'd go in there and suddenly she has all these red cards and she doesn't know where to begin. So now she has to spend time clicking on each one to see what are the tasks, when am I supposed to do it, what can I put back till later. A good CRM, again, will compile those action lists into today's to-do list, which is really amazing. You can also usually sort them by type. So you can have priorities. These things must be done. And you can have things that are your back end tasks, like touch base with this person or reach out on social media, that don't have to be done and they don't know that you're going to do it. So there's no, it's not required to do it today if today is busy. But when you're sitting down somewhere and you're okay, I have some time to dig into this and check on people, then you can go do those tasks. You can also then cluster them in tasks. So I'm going to go jump on social media and interact with some people. What are all my social media tasks? I'm going to shoot out some emails. What are my email tasks? And it makes it so much easier. So, can you track contacts in other systems? Yes. Would I suggest it? Fuck no. Save yourself the time and headache now and get yourself into a system. You want a suggestion? I freaking love Pipedrive. You can go see it. I have a walkthrough of Pipedrive. I explain why I like Pipedrive. Straight off the bat, quickly why I like it. They meet all these things I just mentioned. It's super easy to get integrated into the system. It's a fairly attractive looking system for those creative minds like myself. You need something that's not just the nuts and bolts and kind of ugly. Also, the pricing on it is very transparent. There's one price point for different features. It's really straightforward. They clarify it up front. I know so many CRMs that are if you have this, then you get all these things and all this, but as soon as you have this many people, then it goes to this price. And if you want to add on these things, now it becomes this price. Fuck that. If you are a single business owner working to work your business. You don't have time to go through all those things. That's why one of the many things about Pipedrive that I like. And there's so many other features that I really love. If you'd like to have a conversation about what your needs are, what works, what do you want, we can talk through it. I can help you compile a list of the things that are really important so you know when you're looking at a CRM what's the right one. I will never tell you not to buy a system if that's the one you're committed to. And I will help you work in that system if that's the one you love. The best system is the system that you will use. I want you to stop spending money on trials that you never get through because you don't have the time. I want to get you over the learning hump and using the system, but more specifically, I want you to be building relationships. I want you to stop spending time and start meeting less people and making the most of the people you are meeting. Smarter, not harder. That is my goal for you.